job done for today, so we're happy. We wanted to come back after Vegas and do such a thing, and that's what we did. So we're happy. We knew this track would suit us a lot more. When you look back at last year, it was one of our strongest circuits. So we expected to come here and be quick. It's probably a bit closer than what I would have liked, honestly. But felt confident, especially into quali. I mean, in practice, we were struggling. We were quick, but we were still struggling quite a bit, and a good step off the Ferraris. Into qualifying, we made some improvements, but I think the car really took a step forward, and I could extract a lot more out of it. So happy with today's job for sure. But the real job's tomorrow.
George, mega final lap there to get P2 on the grid for the sprint. Can you talk us through it?
Yeah, it was felt really strong all session. The car was really great, and this circuit is really one of the best. When you get in the groove and that rhythm, it's so fast. I went flat through the high speed for the first time on my final lap in Q3 and confused the engine a little bit. So I lost. I don't know how much I lost, but I had a big recharge on the exit of the corner because I went through it flat. Way too technical for this interview, but that was a bit annoying when it's like, I just nailed it, and then I lost a load of speed on the exit. But I think Lando was just a smidge out of reach.
Reasonably happy. Wasn't the greatest lap of my life, but I think with these conditions it's very tough, and I'm pretty sure everybody will be saying that. So struggled a little bit at the start, but I felt like I was in the groove at the end. Just very fine margins. But yeah, this track's pretty mega to drive around. There's a lot more grip this year than last year, so the high speed sections are a lot of fun.
I never try and read too much into FP1 because you never know the fuel loads and engine modes the other ones are running. The good news is that the car was feeling better in terms of balance than expected, and obviously the timesheets were reflecting that. But we went into quali still worried that our rivals could be quick around here, and that's what we saw. No? So I think anyway we didn't maximize, I think, our package. Even though the lap was clean, it was just a lap with a lot of understeer in the car, and I just couldn't turn the car basically for the whole lap. And it was also a tough lap because it was my only chance to put a lap, so I couldn't risk it too much with track limits, which meant that because I missed the previous lap, I just had to make sure I was getting a lap in. I think tomorrow we have potential to improve a lot the car, especially on the soft tire. That is when we will run the car, and that will mean that we can hopefully make some steps forward.
It's not great considering how important this weekend is for us, but let's say that for whatever reason FP1 was a lot above our expectations. This, I will say, is in line with what we expected, so we're coming back to reality. But obviously after FP1 there were hopes that we could do something better, but we didn't.
Looking ahead to the sprint race tomorrow, do you feel that you are in a position that you'll be able to challenge for the win against the McLarens ahead? And also you've got George up there as well.
If we look at FP1, clearly yes. If we look at qualifying, no. So for now the most representative is quali, so we are not in the best position, but we never know. It's always different on the coming race day.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, the sprint probably it will be tough to fight the cars around me with just the balance that I have in the car. And then for the other qualifying, let's see if we can improve the situation a bit. But I don't expect it to suddenly be turned upside down and that it works. So I don't know. It's not been amazing. Let's say that.
I'm just slow and same every weekend. So. Car felt relatively decent. No issues, and not really much more to say.
Yeah, it's our little pole, obviously the top four this weekend on this track are on a different league, so I'm very happy. We qualify ahead of the Haas and AlphaTauri, so that's the best we could get, and especially tonight it was a bit harder for us in these conditions. I wasn't as comfortable in the car, so really had to work through Q1, Q2, Q3 to put the lap together, and it was a good effort.
What's your thinking for the sprint? You touched on it there. Every point counting in this
Yeah.
tight constructors battle. So.
As it stands, we P8, 1 point tomorrow, and that's exactly what we miss in the championship. So I expect a dogfight tomorrow with Nico, and I'm sure Lawson's gonna be in there as well. And yeah, we know the target until Abu Dhabi. We must score these points, and yeah, we'll give everything for it.
Yeah, I think solid. Obviously, very close between the RB and Alpine. I think we're all really, close within each other, and generally quite a compact field. So yeah, it's quick. This track, is mighty fast. A lot of grip on this tarmac, and certainly physical and demanding.
Obviously, it's very close. I think it's Alpine, Haas, and myself. All in a row. So obviously we're fighting each other for the constructors, so it's important.
Generally feeling a little bit happier with the car here and feeling like points might be possible in the sprint tomorrow?
Yeah, I think so. I think we are definitely happier here than the previous weekends. The high-speed nature of the track probably helps our package, and yeah, temperature as well. So yeah, I think we will be closer to the points hopefully on Sunday.
Really nice track. It's a lot of fun out there. Very quick, but maybe a little bit disappointed. I don't know. I don't think we're quite getting the tyres in the right place. We've been struggling a little bit in the free practice session, and we had the same issue in qualifying. I think most teams are struggling with it. Just can't quite find the magic bit. So it'll be okay. I think our pace has been good. Our long run pace was really strong. So I'm optimistic.
I think for us, if we look at the season average where we finish, today was one of the more positive days, even though it's only SQ2, but it's better than being in the last 2 rows. So yeah, I think it shows that the upgrades we brought to Vegas are still helping, so that's good. But now, obviously, the main focus needs to be still for Sunday.
Q1 was good. Q2 had a bit of traffic, so just lost some time with that in Q2. Yeah, but fine margins.
The car was pretty decent. Got in the last run, got caught behind Nico too. None of his mistake, but just got pressured by traffic on the outlap, and just ended up starting my lap right behind him. So that wasn't ideal, but car was good, and I think we have a decent chance.
We left a little bit late. We had an issue with one of the anti-roll bars, and then to get my final lap, we were all opening gaps, and then Charles came, and yeah, we were fighting into turn 1 and so on, and lost a couple of tenths there, enough to be knocked out. Unfortunately, it was a shame because I felt like we really progressed with the car from P1 to qualifying. We had a lot more potential, and it's a shame that we just ended up here.
Looking forward to the sprint tomorrow, do you feel that you have the car underneath you, that you're going to be able to make progress through the grid?
I think it's going to be very difficult. I think from now on, we will focus on the rest of the weekend. In such a short race, I don't think there will be a lot that we can do. But yeah, we will try.
I don't know why we exit so late, and all I was doing was rushing all throughout the qualifying and didn't really have any proper track position. So to be honest, I mean, I've done what I could have done, to be honest, but just like didn't really able to maximize our performance.
We obviously struggled since this morning. The pace doesn't look really strong for us, and yeah, we need to do a better job obviously on Saturday, but at the moment it seems a little bit tricky. We need to try and improve the situation obviously ahead of tomorrow.
Where does this leave you for the sprint? What's possible from where you're starting?
Yeah, we are going to try and learn obviously together with the team, with the tires, and understand what's best to get the strategy right on Sunday. That's going to be our only long run of the weekend. Obviously we didn't have long runs in P1, so that's what we need to try and get right in case something comes up as an opportunity for us in the race.
Honestly, we are quite close to make it through, but it's a shame just because I think we messed up completely the window for the last run. We waited too long in the pit and then had too much traffic starting my lap. So turn 1, turn 2, I was actually slower than the previous lap. And then from that, I was able to gain like 7 tenths, but everything was lost in the first 2 turns, unfortunately. So I think that's where we were compared to Q2.
It was tough. I think from FP1 we were struggling with my car. We didn't really find any anywhere really, to go. I was losing little by little through a lap. I was losing almost in every corner, which it's always the most frustrating part because, there is no big chunks of lap time in one place. There is little bits here and there, and that makes it just much more tricky. In the high speed, I was okay, but then when I was coming to the mid speed and the slower corners, I was really struggling for the front washing out in mid corner, and I was really struggling for balance. So I was, trying to fight it with some setup changes after FP1, but it didn't really work too much. It did improve a little bit, but still quite far away. And yeah, I think at the moment we are not really finding our way. But I think now with all the data we have now, we might be able to do something a bit more interesting for tomorrow.